parenting classes work? In the past, before I knew anything about behaviors, about children's needs, I remember going to the library and renting some books. I even took some classes, and I really want them to work for me, but it was always a hit or miss. Some things, some tips, some strategies, some parenting toolkits that I learned in these classes or that I learned in the books, sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. Why did this happen and how to fix it? That's what we're going to talk about today. I am Marcela Collier. I am your Parenting with Understanding coach. And I know you might be thinking, oh, she's a parenting coach. Of course, she's going to say that parenting classes work. Okay, it depends. It depends. You just have to be very clear of what you want. And today, you are going to know everything so you can make an informed decision if a parenting class is something that your family needs or not. Okay, let's start. Back in the day, 10 years ago, when I started doing foster care, at the time, I didn't have my biological kids because the twins are 4. I was doing foster care and I have little guys. I remember the first one I got was a precious 4-year-old girl. And as much as I love doing foster care, and matter of fact, I still do, it was tough. It was really, really tough, especially when it comes to behaviors. I wanted to really enjoy my time with these kids, but it was hard. I accessed help. I went to the library, I rented some books, I did some parenting classes online and in person, and I got really good tips and strategies. I'm not saying I didn't get them. They were great, but they were always a hit or miss. Sometimes these parenting toolkits worked for some kids, and for some other ones it wasn't that successful, or it depended on the day. Sometimes it worked wonders, some other times they didn't respond well to them, and I remember feeling so frustrated and questioning myself if a parenting class, it was something that I really needed that was going to solve my problems in my house. Now, fast forward to now, after knowing how children's behaviors work. By the way, I'm a licensed therapeutic foster care provider with the state of Arizona. I provide therapeutic services for children with high behavioral needs. And after knowing how their behaviors work, what they communicate through their behaviors, how to respond to the behaviors from the root, which are all the needs that the behavior communicates. Now I know that having parenting toolkits and strategies and tips don't really work, or they're a hit or miss if I don't have an understanding of what my children communicate through their behaviors. Every single behavior is the communication of a need. Children have 5 basic needs. Humans have 5 basic needs. I have them as well, you have them. And we communicate through behaviors. Research says that 90% of our communication is nonverbal, so we communicate through behaviors more than what we communicate with words. And for our children, because they don't understand what's going on in the inside of them, it might be a little bit higher. This percentage might be a little bit higher. So they communicate through behaviors, each one of those 5 basic needs. And it isn't until I gain the skill to read their behaviors and know what they communicate and how to respond effectively according to the need that they communicate. It wasn't until that happened that I started to see real change in my house, real change in their behaviors, and real change in my level of confidence of knowing that I'm doing everything that my children needed from me. That's what changed for me. It wasn't when I got more parenting tips and toolkits, which they were great. And matter of fact, once I gained this skill, I knew which ones were going to work at each moment, depending on the need, depending on the behavior. And I knew which ones were not going to really work at the time. I became effective. before it was difficult, because it was that difficult, and I refused to go to fear-based methods, fear-based parenting. I didn't want to put them in a corner. I didn't want to yell at them. I didn't want to make them feel worse about themselves, because they were already in foster care. I mean, life was hard for them already, so I wanted them to have a good experience in my care. So I refused to access fear-based methods, but I didn't have the skill back then, so I became permissive. I started to give in or to bribe them to having complied with what I needed from them. And it made me feel bad. It made me feel that I wasn't in charge. It made me feel sometimes that I was doing more bad than good. And it made me feel that I didn't have control in my house. And I don't want that happening to you. You could prevent that by learning how to respond to your children according to the need, by learning the root of your children's behaviors. Now, this is a process and this is a skill, and I'm here to help you. That's why I created the Parenting with Understanding program, where I take you from winging it at parenting to responding with what your children exactly need. Why? Because I equip you with the skill to reveal which need your child is communicating. We are great at knowing their physical needs, but children have 5 emotional needs. So which need he's communicating and how to respond effectively. Now, this program is going to launch again this year, very, very soon. I have so many parents living real transformation inside the Parenting with Understanding program. Kelly is a mom of 2, and she is a current member of the Parenting with Understanding program. She has a toddler and a baby. And this is what she's saying. Hi Marcela, just wanted to say we have seen such a change in our daughter since started Parenting with Understanding. Learning about the needs each child has makes so much less attached to the behavior and so much more able to identify a solution. And many of the behaviors that were leaving us before aren't even happening. And instead we've been able to really enjoy a relationship with our daughter. She's so fun to be around, and we feel prepared to help her when things feel like they're falling apart. That's the kind of future that I want you to have. And that's what Parenting with Understanding can give you. We are going to relaunch really soon, so I encourage you to click the link that I have in the description, where you can sign up for my interest list. Because when I launch, it's going to be for a very limited time. I'm going to do a deep discount flash sale. So if you are in the list, you will be first to be notified about this sale. Have you taken online classes before? Please let me know in the comments. I'm saying parenting online classes. Now, many parents tell me, I want to join, but my husband is not supportive of gentle parenting, of positive parenting, of Parenting with Understanding. How do I bring him on board? If that is you, I have a full video about this. This is the video. And in this video, I tell you what one of my members of the Parenting with Understanding program did to bring her husband, her reluctant husband, on board. Okay? I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you like this video.